Hello freaks, geeks, degenerates and Skruffytalez, welcome to the war zone. I'm Skruffy and this is Skruffytalez. So we're gonna focus a bit on Pokrovsk in this video because Russia is surrounded in 3 locations, but they're making moves to deal with the situation. They are pushing to break these encirclements, so we're gonna take a look at that because they're fighting, they're on the clock, it's a race against time. They can't supply these many troops with only drones. They need to push through if they want to avoid massive amount of casualties and massive amount of POWs surrendering to the Ukrainians. So let's take a look. Right, good morning everyone. It's been a busy week, so let's try and make a quick one. What the hell? I just saw this. What's this? Drone strike. Nice. It's a Russian port harbor. Real quick, Ukraine has pushed Russia back basically to the border. Important. Not much happening in Kupiansk. Russia is trying to push south, obviously, contesting large parts of Kupiansk, but slow going in terms of actual control, as we can see. The advances north of Liman have come to a halt almost. Not much happening as always at Shakova and Toretsk. This is a really slow moving front line over here. Russia is having issues pushing past south of the Syrsky line, fortunately. And now we're gonna take a look at what's happening at Pokrovsk. Pokrovsk, my map. I've been taking a look at various mappers, and this is basically what I've concluded looking at 5 or 6 mappers and combined what they're saying. Ukraine has more or less created 4 pockets, or 3 pockets I should say. Kuchervyar pocket, cut off here, confirmed by Russian mill bloggers. Then you have the Shakova pocket. ISW has geolocated Ukraine is all the way up to the river at Pokrovsk, and then we have Ukraine coming in through Novoekonomichne towards Rodinska, creating the Rodinska pocket. So we have 3 pockets at the moment. Now you might see that I have updated a bit here. So we're gonna start off with the Shakova pocket, west of Shakova. Zooming in, we can see here Russia has made a move this way towards Dorozhnya, coming in here into these windbreaks and these woods. I think this might be an attempt at a breakout, coming in south towards the Rodinska pocket and linking up forces between Dorozhny and Nikolaevka. So, and if Russia manages to do that, they also surround and isolate the Ukrainians over here, right? So they create a problem for the Ukrainians in Pokrovsk, at the same time linking up troops in the Shakova and Rodinska pocket. Ukraine has launched drones at these trenches and mechanized assault, so Russia is in control of the top of the hill here at Mayak. So Ukraine is still only contesting, is at the moment only contesting this part of the valley, as I understand it. So Russia is making moves to coming down to link up with the Rodinska pocket out of the Shakova pocket. We know Ukraine is pushing in to Novotoretsk to secure this bridge here across the marshes between Pokrovsk and Novotoretsk. And if they do that, then Russia has no supplies coming in to the troops west of the river, and they will have to rely on drones alone to support their troops. That would be, yeah, so we're moving down here where this is where things are really interesting at the moment. A week ago, we talked about Russia pushing up into this area, and I said they hadn't really been able to capitalize on this push. Now it seems they have, because we're seeing multiple Ukrainian drone strikes all along the windbreaks here. So Russia pushed in, took this part here. This factory is unclear if it's Ukrainian or not still. But it seems as if Russia pushed into these windbreaks down here and has now pushed up north to the west of Novoekonomichne. And if this is true, Novoekonomiczne is essentially more or less cut off and isolated. We also have Russians coming into Novoekonomiczne here along the main highway, this main street, threatening to cut Novoekonomiczne in half if they manage to push through. And this puts Russia in a good position to push straight north to link up with the Rodinska pocket. So we're seeing intent from the Russians to reach their isolated troops, to break the Ukrainian encirclements in order to reinforce and resupply these two pockets. Primarily, Kucherov Yar is still isolated, relying on drones to be supplied. So this is the Pokrovsk situation more or less at the moment. Russia pushing hard from the south, trying to break through at Novoekonomiczne, because this is to the west of the river. We'll jump over to deep state, I think. Whoop. Deep state map is not as detailed, but let's see here if I can highlight. So here you have the river, right? So Russia, and you have, let's use this one. You have the Shakova pocket, and then you have the Rodinska pocket. And you have Ukraine has pushed down here towards Boykivka. They're coming this way out of Shakova towards Novotoretsky. They've obviously pushed through up here, right? And they've come in south towards Razina to create the Rodinska pocket, the Shakova pocket, and to the north you have the Kucherov Yar pocket. I'm aiming at Kucherov Yar out off screen because you can obviously see that. What the Russians have managed to do that we're not seeing on this map is damn it, wrong one, this one. Managed to come out here to secure this part here, and they are now trying to come in from breaking out of the Shakova pocket, trying to come in here to link up, and they're also now trying to come up to the west of the river here to link up with the Rodinska pocket. Should they manage to do this, we will actually see a two Ukrainian pockets forming, the Novoekonomiczne pocket and the Boykivka pocket, if the Russians manages to sorry, a bit of an edit there. So two pockets if Russia manages to link up, right? You can see here, and it kind of becomes something like this, right? Then you would have Novoekonomiczne and Boykivka surrounded and isolated if Russia manages to push up to the Rodinska pocket and link up Shakova with the Rodinska pocket. So that's what's going on at the moment, at least as far as I can figure it, north of Pokrovsk. And well, it's kind of interesting. We've got this from Frontline Insight. You can make of this what you will. But take a look at this. We estimate at least 70,000 deserters in the Russian army this year, roughly 10% of the entire force deployed in Ukraine. Pinch of salt, but you can see there Russia is suffering a lot of desertions, and if you're going to add in POWs en masse on top of that, you're going to see even more deserters. So Pokrovsk is important. If Russia loses these three pockets, it's going to be a massive blow to morale, and these numbers all of a sudden become very much real for 2025. Right, that's it. I have no time to do anything else, so thank you for watching. Hope I'll see you in the next one. As always, go på marsch, Ukraine, give them hell.